Hello and welcome back to the bullet portion of the underdog tournament. So it starts off with d4 and we get into the starting. Now, funny enough, I didn't think he would play that move with knight out, and it is just a bad move. But I decided to make it complicated. And I completely missed this pawn idea, this rook idea, but I managed to get out of it somewhat safe. This is in a great position, and here his internet cut out, so I ended up winning on time. So, lucky me, I got a free point, and we move on to the next game. Second game starts off with him playing knight out and playing for Black Mardemer. Now, we have already played the Black Mardemer, if you remember, in the rabbit portion. Knight e7, knight g6 is the prep. This is the only good move. Bishop takes g6, f takes g6 is the only good move. Knight e2, and I played the move b6. I had to play h6 here, but b6 is perfectly reasonable. c3, I go bishop back to e7. Rook here, I play bishop here, and apparently now I'm worse to knight f4. But he didn't play that, and I have this move, queen to d5. And if you play rook here, I would just take your pawn. But he didn't play that, and I still took the pawn. Now he took here, queen takes this here, and I play rook here, knight here, and I have this beautiful move, bishop d5. He went bishop takes, I take the rook, he takes here, and then I take here first, and then I take here. And now, this is just a winning endgame. Now, can I convert is the question. I take all this, I go here, check, this here, this here, this here, this here. Unfortunately, in this position, I lose on time. Because I have no time left, and it's without increment. So, I was winning, I did get through my prep, I just wasn't fast enough. Okay. We're off to the fantasy in the Indian game. Which, out from the opening, it doesn't look too terrible. And we actually get into a very rough position around here, but I decide to sack my knight to have this pawn through. And just sort of try and play for something. If I can have something, I can win. And if you notice, time is getting really low, and I managed to sneak in behind him, and I take his rook, and I go here, and he loses on time. Let's get into the fourth game. So we have a Black Mardemer again, and this time he once again plays this move knight d5, which allows this. But it's not really a fantastic position, because I allowed this move, and I allowed the queen to get in. So, and then I just blundered checkmate. So, I did play my opening correct. I took too early here, and I had to play knight g4, attacking the bishop first, pinning the knight to the queen, while also attacking it. Unfortunate miss, but it's bullet. It's gonna happen. Because now that would be after bishop e7 pinning again, and he would just not be able to get out of this in a safe way. He would have to do something like this, which you just can't do in bullet. But that's how game 4 went. And now I cannot lose any game, otherwise I cannot win the match. Or even draw the match. So we play a little bit of positional play here, which is my weakness, unfortunately. And he took here, which is a check. But knight takes check. And now it's just about hunting the king. And in this position he resigned, because after king here, mate. So I sack my rook. Because if you take this, it's very shortly going to be mate after something like check. And check. And then a little cheeky rook a2 action. And then queen b4, I sack my rook again because of this move, and mate coming up after. So, I'm not that lost. So, we get into this position where I decided to play a little bit differently, and he did sack the pawn back. And honestly, I felt like I had a pretty good position here. I played this brilliant move! I sacrificed my rook for 2 pieces. And then I play knight here. And I just blundered this. And now he's actually just winning. And I blundered checkmate. And now I can unfortunately not get back into the game. But I can still try to get the best score I am possibly able to get. Now this game was nothing good. I mean, here he could take here, but he didn't, because that looks pretty scary. And we just don't have a great position, to be honest. Neither of us. I have to put sort of everything into my pawns. And here, I missed the move bishop to d6. I played here. And after this, he took here. Allowing me to take here. And then after takes here. And I sacked the rook, but it doesn't work because there's no mate. And here, I win on time. So, out from the opening, looks pretty decent for both sides, except that black doesn't really feel that comfortable. And there's a lot of shaky here. And I'm winning. I have 2 passed pawns, but unfortunately, I lose on time. It's bullet. What are you gonna do? So now I try to always make bullet positions chaotic to try and just squeeze every bit of life out of my opponent. I don't mind sacking stuff for the exchange. Brilliant move to queen e6. Brilliant move. Sacrificing the rook because you're just gonna get in. Here, I should have probably played queen over and gone for that, but I didn't, and I allowed the knight in. I had to sack the rook, and then I had to sack the queen, and then I blundered checkmate. And now we get to the last game. Knight out, put this here, knight here, pawn here, knight here, and we get into this position where I have a lot of play. But I did blunder, because he has these small tactics. But I already knew I can't win this, but I can still try to get the best score imaginable. And I get rook to g3. Rook hg8. Queen here is a mistake, but after this being a good move, I played this here, which is very tricky. He took on g3, which is a mistake, because there's now queen takes, and he has to play king f1. But in this position, he plays d4, allowing queen h2, queen h1 checkmate. And I managed to make the score a total of 11 points to CM Thomas Christensen, to 8 points to me, which means that I didn't completely lose. I still had actually good play. And it wasn't like a steamroll. It was still very tough for him to play. This means we drew the rabbit section, and we drew the bullet section. Meanwhile, he won the blitz section. So, overall, if we count rounds, it is a score of 2-1. And if we count actual games, it is 11-8 out of 19. Hope you had a great day. Hope you enjoyed watching. Hope you enjoyed some of these moves, like the beautiful rook g3, rook hg8 maneuver. But overall, you can't win them all. But as long as you win some, that's good at the end of the day. Have a great day.